Hello students, I hope you all are good and utilizing your time. Dear students, in my previous recording I have given you introduction of the whole chapter. Now today we are moving to its first topic, and that is types of soil in your reduced syllabus. So we can broadly divide types of soil into two major categories, okay, and these categories are on different basis. The first one is on the basis of the sand and clay composition, okay. The amount of sand and the amount of clay present in any soil can be categorized in three categories, okay. And the second one is on the basis of the composition, structure, humus and minerals found in them. So on that basis we can divide it into four categories, okay, like alluvial, black, red and laterite. First of all, we will be studying about the soil on the basis of the sand and clay composition, and you have to just learn it. It is not so much important as compared to this one. This one is very important. Your question will become from this section, okay, but at the same time you must know about these soils as well. Dear students, you all know about the two materials like sand and clay, you have seen sand at your home, okay, when it is being constructed, okay, and you have also seen the clay, okay, that is a sticky soil or muddy soil, okay, that is called clay. So first of all, the sandy soil, okay. So you know why it is called sandy soil. It is called sandy soil because there is 60% of sand present in such type of soils, okay, and there is about 10% of clay present in this soil, okay. The sandy soil composites of 60% of sand and 10% of clay, okay. And the soil particles of sandy soil are very loose and they are porous. Porous means they cannot retain water or they cannot retain moisture in it, okay. Water will easily penetrate it or flow from it, okay. And they have very less cementing material, okay. They don't have that compact what we can say compact compatibility, okay, or to stick something, okay. So they have very least such type of capability. Then comes the second type of soil, that is called clay soil, okay, and it has high proportion of clay, okay. It has high proportion of clay, and when it mixes with water it becomes very sticky, okay. And the third type of soil is loamy soil, okay, and it has equal proportion of what? Equal proportion of sand and clay, okay. And loamy soil is best for crops, okay, and for farmers prefer loamy soil for different crops, okay. So it is best soil for the crop growth. So on the basis of sand and clay, you can see we can categorize in three categories: sandy, clay, loamy. Sandy, why it is called sandy? It is called sandy because it has like almost 60% of sand in it and 10% clay, okay, and they are porous. That means the water can easily flow from it. Second type of soil is clay soil. It has high proportion of clay, okay, and when it mixed with water it becomes very sticky and it is non-porous type of soil. And the third one is loamy soil, and it is the best soil because it has equal proportion of sand and clay, okay. Now coming to the second major classification of soil, that is on the basis of the composition, structure, humus and minerals found in the soil. So on these four tenets we can divide soil into four categories. First one is alluvial, second one is black, third one is red, and fourth one is laterite soil. Okay, what we will study about this soil? We will study about this soil, their composition, okay, crops related to these soils, and these soils found where in India. Okay, like in northern India we generally found alluvial soil. Okay, now let's understand each of these soil particularly, and the first one is alluvial soil. Okay, so you know alluvial soil occupies almost 40% land in India. Okay, that means it is the soil that found in abundance. Okay, here in India, the 40% of land in India has alluvial type of soil. Okay, and you know it is very fertile. This soil is very fertile. Okay, very fertile for certain crops. Okay, and you know farmers prefer this type of soil. Which type of? Alluvial soil. Okay, and you know in India there are three types of alluvial soil. Okay, three types of means the source of these soils are of three. Sorry, first one is deltaic. Okay, deltaic alluvium. Okay, deltaic alluvium. Second one is coastal alluvium. And the third one is inland alluvium. Okay, so alluvial soil is made up of alluvium, and these alluvium are from different sources. Some are from delta region. Okay, from delta. Some are from the coastal region. Okay, and some are from inland region. Okay, and they are gathered, or they are taken from the inland alluvium, and they form alluvial soil. Okay, if we talk about India, so the northern India occupy extensive alluvial soil. Okay, and you know there is a plain areas in the northern one. Okay, sorry, that is also called Indo-Gangetic plain. Okay, and you know there is also the region of Gamgang, Brahmaputra. Okay, they extended to the Pakistan, to Bangladesh. Okay, and some of the major states where these soils are found in North India are like Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, parts of Rajasthan. Okay, Bihar, Gujarat, West Bengal. Okay, these are the main states where the alluvial soil is found. For your ease, I must write the names of these states where alluvium soil is found in the northern part of India. Like it is found in UP, that is our state, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana. Okay, Punjab, Haryana, West Bengal. Okay, there is some. They are also found in some parts of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Bihar. Okay, so these parts or these states consist alluvium soil. Okay, and you know the part of this inland alluvium in West Bengal and Odisha is also known as deltaic alluvium. Okay, some part of the alluvial soil that is found in the West Bengal and Odisha, they are also called deltaic alluvium. Okay, if we talk about the peninsular India, they are mainly confined to the river deltas, okay, on the eastern coast or the lower valleys of Narmada and Tapi and the southern Gujarat. Okay, and alluvial soil of these coastal strips is porous, clay-like, and of dark color. Okay, and you know these soils are found to a depth of 500 meters. Okay, they are rich in, you must remember, they are rich in potash. They are rich in potash and humus. Okay, and rich in potash and humus, and they are deficient means lack of, okay, कमी होती है, so they are deficient in nitrogen and phosphorus. Nitrogen and phosphorus. Now let's talk about its characteristics. This is important, and in examination you will be asked to write the characteristics of this type of soils. So the first characteristic of alluvial soil is that these are the transported soil. Okay, so what do you understand by the term transported? Transported means they are not from the local, okay, and they are not from on a particular place, but they are transported from somewhere else, especially from the rivers. Okay, then second thing, these soils are coarse, COAR, okay, SE. Coarse means like we can say like very heavy, okay, or we can say dark, okay, or we can say thick. So they are coarse, where they are coarse in the upper valley region, okay, and they are medium in the middle part, okay, they are medium in middle part of the valley, and they are fine and moist. Where in delta region, okay, in delta region the alluvial soil will be fine and moist. Okay, that's why, because they change their texture na, that's why alluvial soil are greatly vary in texture, okay, from coarse to fine. Next thing is they are rich in, as I already told you, they are rich in humus, okay, potash, they are rich in humus, potash, lime, okay. These three things make this soil more fertile, okay, for crops, or we can say they are agriculturally most important soil. Next thing, if we talk about the color of this soil, so they are light to dark, okay. If they are newly formed, then they will be light, and if they become old, they become dark, okay. Next thing about this soil is they are deficient, as I told you earlier, lack of. So they are deficient in nitrogen, and tends to be phosphoric, That's why they tends to be phosphoric. Okay, one more thing, they are found around 500 meter depth. Till 500 meter they have depth of alluvium soil. Okay, and you know they are suitable for what? They are suitable for both rabi and kharif crops. Okay, we can say summer and winter crops. So we can further divide alluvial soil into two categories. First one is alluvial soil can be divided into two categories. First one is we can say khadar, KHADAR, khadar. This one is new alluvial soil, and the second one is bhangar, BHANGAR, bhangar. Okay, and this one is old alluvial soil. Okay, so this was all about alluvial soil, their characteristics, where they found in India, okay, in which region they found and in which type of they found. Okay, and there are two categories, first one is Khandar and second one Bhangar. Okay, sorry, it is not Bhangar, it is Bangar, BANGAR, Bangar. Now let us also see the difference between the Bangar and the Khadar alluvial soil. Okay, so first of all, on the first category of the difference is their where they are found. Okay, so Bangar is usually found in the higher regions, higher up in northern plains, higher up in northern plain. Okay, and they are found in the lower levels. Okay, where near the river. Okay, or floodplains delta. The Khadar one is found in the lower levels near the river, floodplains and delta. Bangar is found in the upper in the northern plains. Okay, they are about 30 meters above flood level of river, above flood level of river. Next thing, they are consist of what? They are consist of conker. We call it conker, the same conker. In English we can say pebbles, PEBBLES, pebbles. Okay, gravels. And Khadar is mainly found, Khadar has fine silt. They have fine silt and clay. Okay, then next one is they are found massive in river beds. That one is already over. They are known as older alluvium. Okay, they are older alluvium. Okay, and not very fertile, and these are never, they are known as never alluvium and are very fertile. Very fertile. And last point, what you have to remember, you should remember that they are in yellow in color or the yellowish color. Okay. And Bangar, they are gray. Okay, light gray in color, sorry. You can see right here, light gray in color. Okay, so this is the basic difference between Bangar and Khadar. Okay, there are type of alluvium soil. Okay, so these are written here, the points you should also read from your book. Then let's see the another difference, alluvial soil of the northern India and the alluvial soil of the peninsular India. Okay, so the alluvial soil of northern India, it is formed by the rivers. Which rivers they include? They include Indus river, okay, Ganga river and Brahmaputra river. Brahmaputra river, okay. And in the southern India, or we can say peninsular India, better word is peninsular, not right southern, peninsular. Peninsular India, okay. In peninsular India, they are formed by the rivers of like Godavari, okay, Krishna, Narmada, Tapi. Okay, in northern India they are formed by the rivers like Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra and their tributaries, and the southern or in the peninsular India they are formed by the rivers like Godavari, Krishna, Narmada and Tapi. Okay, here they are non-porous. In peninsular India they are non-porous. In northern India they are porous. Okay, and if we talk about the colors, so here they are faint yellow color, faint yellow color, okay, and they are consist of clay and organic matter and organic matter. In peninsular India they are in dark color. Okay, you know why they are in the dark color? Because the rivers flow on the black soil, over the black soil. Okay, that's why they are dark in color. And secondly, they are clayey in nature. Clayey in nature. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the northern alluvial soil of northern India and the alluvial soil of the peninsular India. Okay, on the basis of their rivers, their porous or not porous, and color and composition. Now coming to the last thing of this soil, and it is the crops grown in alluvial soil. So let me tell you which crops grow in this soil. So alluvial soil is suitable for a wide variety of Rabi and Kharif crops. Okay, for example, it is good for wheat. Okay, it is also good for sugar cane. Okay, cotton, oil seeds, etc. And in the deltaic region, it is also ideal for jute. Where? In deltaic region. So this was all about crops. This was all about alluvial soil. Okay, so I have taught you about the basic I have taught you about different types of soil on the basis of their sand and clay composition, and on the basis of their structure, composition, mineral and humus. Okay, so the first step was alluvial soil, and in alluvial soil we have studied about its availability in India, its type of alluvium, okay, and where they are found in India, their characteristics, their types, difference between the Bangar and Khadar and alluvial of southern India, peninsular India and northern India, and lastly the crops grown in the alluvial soil. In my next class I will teach you about black soil. Till then, listen this video and also read from your book. Thank you. Have a nice day.